Welcome to This Week in Overwatch, where we as quickly as possible try to break down all of your favorite Overwatch news and esports related content. This week we'll be giving you a match history so you can know who's been playing, a team breakdown so maybe you can give you somebody to follow, and of course we will be bringing you some of your favorite plays from this week. With that being said, let's move directly into match history so that way we can know who's actually been winning and who's been losing, and see what's going on in the Overwatch Pit. Group stages for North America's Overwatch Pit Championship is still occurring. Group A is entirely completed, with Selfless just absolutely dominating, going 5-0. Following that up is a three-way tie between Counterlogic Gaming, Rise Nation, and Luminosity Gaming Evil. Big surprise on here is Counterlogic Gaming, who's been making a name for themselves in the past week or two. Fortunately, Galeforce, Esports, and Complexity in Group A have been eliminated and will not continue on. Group B consists of Team Liquid, Luminosity Gaming Loyal, Tempo Storm North America, FaZe Clan, Rogue, and You Guys Get Paid, an unsigned team. On the European side of Overwatch Pit Championship, both Group A and B have completed. People going on are Ninjas of Pajamas, E-United, Vivi's Adventure, Laser Kittens, Misfits, Movie Star Riders, Team Dignitas, and Team Singularity Ninjas. Unfortunately, Gamers Origin, X-Rocks, Hammers Esports, and X-Alternate Attacks have all been eliminated. Misfits showed up to impress, going 5-0 through their series, but right on their heels are Ninjas in Pajamas, E-United, and Movie Star Riders, who all went 4-1. This has looked like it's shaping up to be a magnificent playoff bracket. This week in Korea, the third place match between Meta Athena and LW Blue happened for Apex Season 2. Right before the event, Janice, the main take for LW Blue, actually had to go to the hospital with a collapsed lung. A lot of people were really worried about how this would impact the game, but unfortunately for Meta Athena, it doesn't seem like it hindered them too much. LW Blue ended up taking the series 3-1. Looking through the comments of last week, the number one thing that everybody seemed to want was a breakdown on what teams to follow. Well, I kind of thought about going with the big names like Envy, Cloud9, NRG, but none of them really played this week. So instead, I'm going to do two teams that are generating a lot of buzz and a lot of conversation off this past week of play. And so with that, let's start talking about Selfless. Selfless consists of Sinatra, Defran, Iman GG, Kresnik, Michael 3D, and Dak. If you like crazy aggressive teams, then Selfless is your org. These guys are known for specifically pushing teams all the way back to spawn on defense. Selfless uses Defran's ridiculous tracking coupled with Iman GG and Sinatra to pull off some of the most entertaining plays in Overwatch right now. So if this sounds like your kind of team, make sure you check them out in the Overwatch Pit Championship as the playoffs start. For our second team, we're going to be looking at somebody that's not sitting at the top of their bracket, but is generating a lot of conversation. And that's Counterlogic Gaming. They consist of Hydration, Waffletastic, Miso, iShiny, The, and Mikado. What makes CLG such a hot topic of conversation right now is the fact that since being signed at MLG Vegas, we haven't heard much out of the organization in general. The org took some time off to really gather itself and figure out how they wanted to approach Overwatch as a unit. Tank meta wasn't necessarily the most conducive for the way that they wanted to play Overwatch, so we didn't hear much out of them except for appearing in a weekly event here or there. But with the meta shift and the signing of Coach Cuddles, CLG seems like they have shown up to play at the Overwatch Pit Championship. They have put on several impressive games that has drawn lots and lots of attention. CLG moved into the Pit playoffs in a three-way tie, so they're kind of that underdog team that everybody is really rooting for. If that seems to fit you, or if you're just part of the old CLG faithful, now's the time to really show up and start bestowing your energy. And for our first bit of news this week, it has got to be the announcement of a new event on April 11th. From what it looks to be, it's some type of event that happened in the past based off the fact that the Twitter account said an archived event, and the comic book that we got that was hyping it up specifically dealt with the earlier days of Overwatch, specifically like whenever Tracer got started and everything like that. Sorry, spoilers if you haven't read the comic book yet, but definitely read the comic. We know that there are some playable elements from what Jeff Kaplan said in an interview, and we also know the fact that it looks like there's going to be a really good Widowmaker skin. He said it was definitely going to be worth the wait for all the Widowmaker fans out there. In slightly different news, the CSGO subreddit r Global Offensive rebranded for April Fool's Day to be an Overwatch subreddit. Users even went so far as to submit their own custom play of the game gifts using CSGO. BlizzCon tickets went on sale on April 5th. So if you were like me and you spam the refresh button and you still couldn't get tickets, worry not, you can still get a chance on April 10th at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That being said, if you do end up getting tickets and I don't, and you remembered because of this video, please don't tell me. So for our last bit of news, it's actually kind of an event announcement. I know we do that in a different section, but this one doesn't happen this week. So I wanted to give you a forewarning on it because it looks like it's going to be really interesting, and that's Rivalcade's Rumble. What it's going to be is it's going to be a North American event predominantly, but it's going to bring in a lot of teams that we haven't seen really get to play against each other. Envy's been over at Apex for quite a while now, and hasn't really been playing against a lot of North American teams, while Immortals has been really dominant in the past 2 big events. So we're going to be able to see Envious, Rogue, Immortals, Luminosity Gaming, Cloud9, Selfless, Splice, and Complexity all playing in this. Additionally, there's going to be an open bracket so that way teams can make it in and compete against these teams as well. So we might be seeing the likes of Renegades. Who knows? Maybe CLG? We don't know what's going on. We'll have to see how the pit finalizes and what happens in this next group opening. But it looks like it's going to be a really, really cool event, and it's going to be really, really short. So make sure you keep an eye out for this and mark your calendars for it. Overwatch Monthly Melee returns this week, which you may know as the Alienware Monthly Melee, but it's got a little bit of a rebranding. Additionally, it's also switched to a new Twitch channel, so make sure you update that as necessary. It's going to be happening on April 14th through 16th at 1700 EST, so one of the most popular events, and as such, has a lot of great teams competing. It's going to be Selfless, Immortals, Rogue, Luminosity Gaming Evil, Meta Athena, which is a Korean team that was just competing in Apex, and the return of NRG, which I know will excite a lot of Seagull fans. Of course, the Overwatch Pit Championship continues, with NA events on April 7th and 8th, the NA playoffs being on April 9th through the 14th, and EU playoffs being on the 9th through the 14th as well. The Pacific region's finally getting some tournament love with Overwatch Pacific Championship. This will be an 11-week event that's taking place in Blizzard's new stadium that they've built for the region. Some notable names for it will be Blank Esports, Hong Kong Attitude, AHQ, Flash Wolves, and Fireball. After weeks of competition, the Apex Season Finals are finally here. Runaway will take on Lunatic High on April 8th at 1800 KST or 5 AM Eastern Standard Time. If you're wanting to play in some events or check out some of the up-and-coming teams, make sure you watch the Athena Cup for North America on April 9th. Rivalcade's EU and NA events will both be on April 11th. Academy Gaming will have its North American event on April 10th. And Overwatch Gaming Arena number 10 for EU will happen on April 12th. And now we're to everybody's favorite part, Plays of the Week. But before we get into that, I did want to go over something mechanical that happens. We're going to refer to something as spawn staggering, which, for those of you that don't watch much Overwatch esports, is, let's say, you kill 5 people on a team and there's still 1 left over. You try to leave that 1 up for as long as you possibly can, so that way there's a distance between the spawn times between people, or staggering their spawns, hence the name. So, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and move into the plays, and the very first one we're going to see is Misfit Zebasai, shutting down a play before it can even start.
So again, a lot falls on Zebasai's shoulders here to get the nano boost out, heal his teammates up at a rate that's pretty identical to a Transcendence, and then also landing a biotic there. Oh, what a sleep!
Dreamcasper plays dead, then goes on a headshot spree.
It's gonna be a 3-for-1 fight as Tig does finally answer on back, but that might not be enough. Dreamcasper caught out, and it looks like they're just gonna try and stagger him for as long as they can.
What just happened there?
LW Blue's Mako decides to take matters into his own hands.
Dealing quite a bit of damage, and yeah, they're just going to leave Mako alive for the moment. Delay that spawn even more, buy more time for Meta Athena.
Yeah, force him to jump off the map there.
Oh, nope, it's gonna be a car. Oh, how graphic.
Dignitas's Linkser nails a beautiful reflect onto Envision.
I tend to cap this one out, and they certainly should come away with at least 1 or 2 ticks from me.
I've always really liked Widowmaker in this particular situation. I mean, really, they just it puts the defense in a situation where, oh, Linkser!
LG Evil Super just drops a self-destruct right in the lap of Selfless.
Right, he's gonna unleash that painful nuke right behind enemy lines, combines it with Jake. Which way do you turn? Do you try to block the barrage, or do you die from behind?
And with that, the episode is done, guys. I just want to say thank you for everybody for all your criticisms and feedback of the last episode. Please make sure you keep that coming. Specifically, let me know what segments that you guys want. I'm doing this specifically for the community. If you enjoyed this, give it a like, subscribe. I'm going to try to do this every single week. Additionally, if you're enjoying my content, please follow me on Twitter. I'm casting about 2 to 3 times a week and would love the support.